Hello, fellow AFL enjoyers. Back reacting to round, what is this, 22 now. Before we crack into it, though, we just got to shout out Nick Tuzidi winning.
For what?
I don't know, man. What did he
You
do?
look nervous. You look nervous, Dino.
You tell us.
Nah, look, fair play, Nickel. Mate, he set a really good score.
Yeah.
Like, I had a few duds which let me down. Side bottom, Tom Powell, never again list.
Yeah. For the fans, this is a Supercoach
draft. Yeah, look, I was first most of the year. Oh, second half of the year. First leading into finals. Obviously made the granny. And Nickel, man, he took down some serious opposition on his way to the final. Obviously, Matza was the one we spoke about. Took down Perry in round one. No joke. He's the old Perry. So, and then obviously MA in the semi-finals. But look, congrats, dudes. I'm going to grow this grieving beard out for as long as I feel I need to. And that's it. We move.
Yeah,
we move to next year. Back-to-back granny losses for me.
It was written in the stars.
No, it was written in the stars, man. Look, sorry, you're fighting fate, I felt like.
Yeah, nah, 100%.
They kind of mirrored the last year's grand final with Sydney being kind of the best team for most of it, and then floundering, and Brisbane kind of being the battling team that won it. Is that kind of...
I feel that.
I feel like there's something there.
So what you're saying is next year I'm going to do shit and not even make finals?
No, you'll be fine, man. You'll be fine.
But you'll have a good last 2-3 rounds, you know. Where you
That's nice.
You surprise some people.
I'll take that.
But anyway, speaking of surprising people, Hawthorn went and demolished.
We did sort of
Pies.
say, let the record show somewhat, or was it me saying, oh, I don't know, I'm feeling the Hawks a bit, and you guys just shut me down.
That was probably cut out by the audio, so I don't know what...
I'm going to claim it then.
Yeah,
Fine.
you can claim it if you want, but you can, let's be fair, we can claim anything. We can claim anything from last week.
I tipped Hawthorn.
You did?
Yeah.
Oh, wow. Well, there you go. Hey, Dano knows his footy, man.
Look, how good was that to watch Collingwood? Like, we've been saying, oh, obviously they're struggling a bit. They'll be all right. They'll be right. Are they going to be all right, mate?
Mate, don't think so.
I kind of feel like this is the first time I've gone, shit.
This was the first time I
think they're
watched
gonna be
them. I watched them lose, and I think this is as bad. Like, this is like watching North, and I don't mean that with anything. No praise with that statement.
Of
Like,
course, yeah.
there was fumbles. Like, even the most experienced players, there was comical stuff at one point in the back line where, like, handball to your teammate's feet, then he can't pick it up, then he handballs to the other guy's feet, then the other guy's. And even the crowd
taps it to like the wizard to kick the goal. And
then the crowd's just like groaning, like, what are we watching? And I don't blame them. Like, they're used to a much higher standard than that. Like, crazy. But Hawthorn brought it, man. From the get-go, obviously the Newcomb incident with Jeremy Howe was very unfortunate, but
Yeah.
that was the level of physicality they brought the whole game. So, you know, they really went out there. And, man, I thought they might have dropped out of the finals. I thought Freo maybe was susceptible. Both pulled out the wins in their different ways, but very important wins. But, man, hey, Cal Shadir,
He's backed up.
he's quickly becoming one of my favourite players in the league.
Fair enough.
Honestly, man.
Fair
Like, you watch this kid play. He's launching at everything consistently. It's like prime Jeremy Howe. Screamers every week.
Yeah, no, mate. He brings some excitement to that team, that physical presence. You know, it's quite a tall forward line, but you know,
well, I hope he keeps his spot, right? Because he got subbed out for Bruce.
I'm certain he will.
Yeah.
What, keep his spot, you reckon?
100%. Yeah. Well, he was in the last year team in the finals.
True. It's just interesting how they've managed to fit all these dudes now. Like Gunston kicked 4, Joel 3, Meek 3, which is amazing.
Meek had a lot of like kind of... Darcy Cameron was in the goal square with him, and Meek just found a way to take the mark. So Darcy Cameron's a really good intercept ruckman, and he just wasn't able to do that in those moments. And Meek really showed him up, which was quite cool.
It was 2 on the goal square.
Yeah, 2 on the goal square. And then the other one is Mitch Lewis, just 1 goal, but still a key that's playing in that position.
Physical presence, man, that boy. So yeah, credit for him, man.
I don't know about the Pies. I mean, it doesn't get any easier for them. Got Adelaide and Adelaide. If they lose this one, I think top 4. Like, I'm disappointed in Brisbane and not taking that chance because I feel like they've allowed Collingwood to stay in the top 4. But I wouldn't put it past Collingwood to respond and find a way to win against Adelaide because they've done that over previous seasons. But Adelaide is a different team at the moment. But if they lose this one, then they're susceptible to finishing 5th, which would be a crazy fall from grace. And it's already been a bit of a fall from grace. So.
And then, mind you, finishing 5th could mean you're playing Hawthorn round 1, like a team that just spanked you. Like, it's going to be interesting. The Suns now, I mean, I've been sleeping all year on them, and probably rightfully so because they haven't earned anything yet. But now with their Essendon fixture and another couple of winnable games there, they could be the one. Do they get a home final potentially?
That's possible.
That would be huge for Metricon.
True.
Huge for the AFL.
Yeah, no.
I would love that.
They're licking their lips, AFL.
But yeah, on Hawthorn though, they've got a few players out, so it's good for them that they're able to continue, playing some good footy. Like Will Day goes out, and that's like such a spiritual hit, and Weddle as well, another one. So the fact that they're playing some good footy at this time of the year without some key pieces, able to restructure on the fly a little bit, I think that bodes well for them going
like
into
Gunston.
finals,
Career best form helps as well.
Yeah.
Crazy, man. Like, how old is this guy? Like 52? Like
I think he's just turned 52, yeah.
Yeah, that's amazing. You know what I mean? It's like he could be my dad. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, look, that's the Hawk ball that we've kind of wanted to see from Hawks, and that's probably the best display of it. They looked amazing. Maybe that was Collingwood looking really far off the pace that allowed the Hawks to look that good. Maybe it was the Hawks' pressure, but it's one of those victories where like Melbourne wins. The whole of Victoria wins, with Collingwood falling away. And if we can find a way for the Pies, this is a Carlton supporter selfishly talking, find a way for the Pies not to win this season, I don't know. I'm not sure I'm that optimistic about their next couple of years because they do have a lot of aging players, and maybe Pendlebury's going again, and Pendlebury's not the issue, right? He actually was he had the most possessions for the Collingwood team.
He was great, and Dudes had him, of course, but anyway. But Dan Houston, like this is the one, right? So they invest a few picks and sort of know that they're all in now, and they made that call, and they bring him in, and mate, again, he was terrible. Like the amount of missed disposals, panic disposals. You don't know which player you're watching here. It is not the same player as Port Adelaide. No. He hasn't found his feet.
This is a 2-time All-Australian we're talking about.
And in a funny way, it's kind of like when they go hard at Lockie Schultz last year, and he took ages to get going. He's looking pretty good now.
Yeah.
So it's just, I wonder, like these players just come, they enter the G with all the Collingwood members around, like, I don't know, does the moment get to them?
Maybe. I mean, the other one's Perryman. He's done nothing to impress, in my opinion, this year. 17 possessions, kind of whatever.
Yeah, well, he's playing in defence again. Like there was that midfield role that was sort of earmarked for him, and then Ned Long took it. Now Tom Mitchell's getting a bit of a run. I don't know. I think that they've got to get that mix right, and they just can't get it right at the minute.
Yeah, the other one that's a wild card is the goalie who's just getting back into it. I mean, all you need is a couple of these players we talked to hit some form moments, and they're right back into it. But
on him, just quickly, they mentioned, I think it was in the last quarter on the commentary, that he had played the most time on ground that deep into the game. And they were sort of just saying, like, the game's over, get him off. Like, it was a fair call, to be honest.
He paid 82%.
So, at one point he had, I don't know if he was like he had covered the most ground or played the most minutes, like something like that caused the commentators to mention it. And I was there thinking, like, what are they doing? Like, they're getting spanked. This guy's your X factor in the finals. Can win you a game off his own boot. Like, don't risk it. He's had the whole year out, basically. So, questionable stuff there. I don't know. Look, we say that, like you said, though, they can come out and beat Adelaide next week.
They can.
You know what I mean? So
it's just funny to see a team that we all rate as very good and is coached very well by a very professional coach. And if you listen to his press conference, the way he handles losses, that's exactly how a supporter wants to see their coach. Honest, doesn't hide away from anything, doesn't talk in riddles, just says it how it is, right? But it's amazing how ordinary a list of players can actually look when they're out of form. Like you go through the Collingwood list and you suddenly don't rate, Quaynor or, these type of Frampton,
I know, you look at
Perryman. Moore's had a bad second half of the year. He's crisp out of form. Like suddenly you just go through the list and you go,
Lipinski, what's he doing?
Yeah, what's Lipinski doing other than looking, handsome and all that stuff? So like Jeremy Howe can't be the sole reason their defense is not holding up. So I don't know. I'm not saying that they're not, of course, still a premiership chance, but it's funny looking to the list and going, yeah, they're not that good anymore.
And on that note as well, it makes you really think as well. And their forward line fires most weeks, like your Elliots and Myerchecks and whatnot. And then in a week where maybe they're not having that impact, you look at it, you're like, man, Tom Barras looks like 2 meters tall. Yeah. Like, you know what I mean? Like, depending on matchup, that's the thing I always get with Jack Silvani. Like, depending on who he's playing on, I'm like, this guy's huge. Like, this guy's so small. Same sort of vibe with Barras a little bit. He's obviously a monster, but sometimes he's on the big 200 centimeter gorillas. He looks a bit small. Yeah. So, anyway.
And look, sometimes you need your leaders to stand up, and I don't think any Collingwood leader really stood up. I mean, Dacos 24 possessions. When's the last time he's had 24 possessions, man? His first game ever.
And he started off the field. It was almost like a weird tactical thing, like don't let him get tagged initially, like throw him on when no one's expecting it. It didn't work.
Nah, it's dumb, man. That's dumb.
Silly. It's one of those, if it works and he comes on and has like 5 possessions in 2 minutes, you're like, what a genius move. But it did not work.
Yeah. Anyway. I think we'll move into the Friday night game. Not too much.
Do you want to give flowers to Honourable Essendon?
Of course, mate. Well done to them.
I thought you were going to say flowers to Shannon Neal for delivering for my emergencies.
Well, he looked. How amazing did this guy look in the first quarter? All of his marks contested, and then you're like, "Hey, look, Shannon Neal, like, can you stop? Like, Jeremy Cameron needs to be kicking these goals, man." I was so disappointed in Cameron.
He ruined the spectacle. Yeah,
That's the only reason anyone's watching. And the funny thing is, it doesn't feel like he had a great game. He still had 9 shots at goal, like 4-5. That's easily like 7-8 goals and normal kicking accuracy. So he's getting amongst it, and I don't think I've ever seen a team try and put the ball down someone's throat so much in a game. Like, they're taking the absolute piss out of the opposition. It's fascinating.
I haven't seen it since Carlton and Favola back in the days.
That's right. Trying to get Favola that last goal that he couldn't.
Jared Rufford and Clarko put a stop to that.
It's fascinating. Like, any player can pretend like that's not part of their thing. And what's great about Geelong is because they've got such smart footballers and such skillful footballers and they create spread in the forward line, they've always got the ability to kind of hit up a Jack Martin or a Neil or whoever's most in advantageous position, right? But we don't care about that. We want Cameron to kick 100 goals, and his 5 was probably the pass mark.
Did you actually think he could do it in the regular season?
Not on the regular, but they're going to finish top 4, which means they've still got
people were thinking he might push it for the regular if he goes
3
crazy.
games in the finals at least. Yeah.
2. How many? There's only 2 rounds left. He's got 4 games left, bro.
He'll at least play 2 finals if they get swept.
Yeah, minimum.
True.
Minimum. So he's probably, how many goals has he got left?
21?
21?
I don't know. Don't quote me on that, but
I think 21. Look, maybe it's ridiculous to just assume he's going to keep kicking 5-6 goals, but he's done it. So it's actually very possible.
And they've got an easy fixture, which we've been mentioning, and this was one of them. Like you said, he should have had more, but wasn't to be.
So he's on 79, and then the next is
21.
Ben King at 57.
Yeah.
There you go, my All-Australian shout, Ben King. There you go. I don't know if you guys remember that little video we did.
What do I get when Naz wins the Brownlow, though? Because I called it. Do I get extra points?
Extra points.
What do I
Extra
get?
points for Naz on the
Hey,
Brownlow.
look, my Noah Anderson pick is locked in. So
We've each got a few. Yeah.
your boy Sheasel has let me down massively, huh?
Yeah.
Fair enough. Look, for me, I'd Sherry pick one in that video. So that one's gone.
I can't remember any of my other picks except Naz, so I'll take it.
Fair. I got to say, like, something that was cool in this game. So Cameron kicked 4. Liam, as Georgie would call him, McMahon. So Liam McMahon hit 4 goals, and there was a video of him afterwards. And they basically, I can't remember exactly what it was, but it was, they said to him, "Oh, Richo's been raving on about you, mate. You know, Richo's, loving the way you play and stuff like that." And then he had this little cheeky grin. He's all G'd up. He said that Richo was his favorite player growing up.
Oh, there
so
you
that
go.
was really cool for Liam McMahon. Seems like they found a smart footballer there. Knows where the goals are. So it's something out of this, shocking season.
Wasn't he on the Carlton VFL team?
He was, yeah.
And killing it. So, I mean, sometimes it's not that complicated. The guys that are dominating VFL as a key position player, give him a chance.
Yeah,
Why
that's
not?
it. That's it,
You know?
man. And look, it doesn't really matter how you do it at AFL level. If you're kicking goals, you're kicking goals.
Correct.
You don't need to be Riley Thilthorpe or Darcy here doing ridiculous contested marks and this and that. If you know where the goals are, you got a little bit of size.
Yep.
That's it. That's all that really matters. So
Zach Merritt, hand injury. Another one for the Bombers. This time, not a soft tissue, so there's something in,
this is a
Credit to them in that one.
a freak accident and sucks for me for Supercoach purposes.
Yeah.
I don't have any more trades.
Oh,
I'm gonna have to trust in Clay Hall. Shout out Clay Hall, bro.
shout out Clay Hall.
Yeah, no.
He'll be all right.
I think we'll go to.
That's the only
Richmond.
shout out he's probably going to get in his career, that guy.
No, I think I've shouted him out before actually.
Yeah?
I reckon when he started playing a little bit better, I feel like I'd mentioned something. They had a little bit of size. I don't know. Don't quote me on that. But we'll jump into the Naz game as well. And actually, it wasn't just Naz. It was Sinclair. It was Marshall had a good game.
It was Naz in the second half, though.
Yeah. Well, look, I actually traded him in this week as my last trade, and I VC'd him.
Oh,
so
beautiful.
I was wrapped. He didn't start off well, but then at one stage it's just like, okay, we're gonna let you kick in. The next person gets a mark, you run.
Yeah.
You grab it.
Yep.
Kick to the next person. They're going to mark. They're going to hand pass it to you again. And it just kept going.
Yeah.
I swear he had like 2 or 3 of those players where he had 4 possessions in the chain.
Yeah.
Well, it gets to the point as
Insane.
well where he'll be in the corridor and they'll hit the riskiest kick to him, sit it on his head. And because he's got the size as well, let's not forget he's tall enough, got long arms, and obviously can jump. They're taking that risk, and I've never seen a team so forcefully feed a midfielder the ball.
I agree.
Yeah.
It's complete main character energy. Like, I don't even think Dacos has been on this level.
And it's different when like an Ablett or a Dacos just hovers around the big fellas and gets a cheapie. Like that's one thing. Everyone does that.
Yeah.
But this, like I said, the dangerous kicks into the corridor, the handball chains, like Matt said, off kick-ins, like insane. But again, he delivers. And then his end product into the 50 at the moment is the best in the league.
Yeah. Well, I think he's the best player in the competition at the moment.
On form,
on
for
form.
sure.
I think it's fair to say. But the interesting thing is that there's a lot of rumors. So even the last thing I've seen about Nazar is that there's like they're saying that he's leaning on leaving, and now there's another rumor about Wilkie potentially, looking at assessing his options, and those two specifically, if they were to leave, and then even Marshall possibly, you know what I mean? The team's dead, bro.
And
Wilkie saves. I don't know if there's a player who carries a defense more than Callum Wilkie does.
that one was surprising today. Yeah.
Yeah, that's a crazy link. They have to they can't let go of either of these dudes. But yeah, considering how much they rely on Wilkie defensively and then they rely on Naz offensively.
Yeah.
It's kind of
Well, I read it out to you guys before, but I'll say it again. So the Sam Edmund tweet about Wilkie was something about the whole Lika Leah getting paid as much, or if not a bit more than Wilkie, has sort of shaken the house a little bit. So
fair enough.
Well,
that's an interesting one.
The whole Tom de Koning one, like we're all assuming he's leaving, and I think that's a foregone conclusion now. But any player, if he's actually coming in on 1.7 million, it's one of those things that I'm not sure that's a blessing. Like, because the expectation is you're the top dog in the whole team.
And did Marshall sign a new contract? Was it last year or the year before? Like, yeah, should they have told him that they're going to be pursuing him? Because they would know their plans. It's an interesting one.
I don't know. Look, if I was Marshall, I'd be like, look, I can stay here at St Kilda and play forward, which I probably don't want to do as much, or I can go to Geelong. I'll take a bit less money at Geelong, but there's a chance I'll win a premiership because I'm going to bring an elite ruckman to an already elite midfield. It's
100%.
Yeah, I think it's interesting. And going back to the game, they really needed to work hard to beat Richmond, which I think is not a good.
It was a shit game. I was watching a bit of it for Supercoach reasons, man.
Same.
Unreal how slow St Kilda can play at times.
Yeah.
Like
they just make it impossible to move the ball. They don't even look like they're interested in moving it.
It's bad.
Yeah, players aren't running for each other up the ground. Like they're just it's all stagnant. It's
until Naz gets the ball.
Yeah, exactly. And then
He's the only one.
And he's just playing on instinct. It's a one-man show. Like you said before, I don't think I've ever seen a team revolve around one player that much.
Well, it almost like lulled Richmond to sleep at times. Like they were playing so slow, and then you give it to Naz, and he just glides along the grass. So anyway, a shit game. We shouldn't talk about it.
I don't think the Tigers would Tigers would probably want to win it, and they probably could it, but at the same time, keep low for draft picks. I don't know whether it would have changed their ladder position though.
It wouldn't, and I'll tell you why. Because even if North beats them this week and jumps them, they've got our pick anyway.
It's going to be the same pick.
So they probably did want to win then.
Yeah, they're going to go 2-3 regardless, basically.
Correct.
In the draft. But anyway, we'll move on to Brizzy versus the Lions. That's a big game.
Versus the Swansea, man.
Oh, sorry. Did I say Brizzy? Brizzy were versing themselves.
You know what? That's something in that. Yeah.
There's something in it, mate. There's something in it. No Neil in this game. All of a sudden, that sort of evens things out a little bit. A couple dudes step up, but the stars from Sydney, they all rose. They all, especially Heaney.
Heaney was incredible. I mean, he's had some crazy games this season. I don't know. Would Heaney be in your All-Australian team?
That's interesting.
Because he's had some performances that very few players in the comp can actually pull out, and he's done it a couple times this season.
I think
but it might have been a little bit against poor opposition. This one's not. But
I think he's kicked enough goals to sneak him in the forward line and cheat. Potentially.
True. Yeah, I don't mind that.
Like he's had bags of 5 twice,
and
then a 3 and a couple 2s. Like that's, man, for a midfielder, that's very, very good.
Yeah, and you know how the All Australian selectors, they love to sneak in the midfielder that's kicked the most goals in the year. That's what they like.
You have to.
Yeah,
you have to. Look, the thing I was most impressed of is the Sydney defense really held up against Brisbane. They just didn't concede that many goals, considering kind of Brisbane had a lot of inside 50s or times where they had momentum that just couldn't score. So I thought, like, even though Sydney's backline's been a little bit undermanned for a couple of years through injury, I just felt like they really held up, which was interesting. The other thing is the finish to this game was insane. Who kicks 3 goals in 1 minute?
Bro.
That was
Yeah,
absolutely
that's-
mental.
Yeah.
It just shows the firepower of the team,
Mm.
which is why we rate Brisbane so highly, but also why we're disappointed when they can't get the job done.
Mm.
They've had an opportunity to really seal their top 4. They could actually miss the 8,
No.
That's that, bro. The fact that they can miss the 8,
which I don't think they
Collingwood
will,
can-
by the way, but mathematically they can.
Yeah, it's a crazy scenario this year with the amount of teams that can miss it. So pretty much any of those top 9 can make it or miss it.
But you know
Apart
what?
from what Adelaide.
Man, they've got Freo.
Adelaide's the only one that's locked their final spot.
Yeah,
You're not wrong, George. Just quickly, they've got Freo at Optus and then Hawks at the Gabba.
That's right.
They lose both of
They
those.
could
and
lose both.
And the Bulldogs win both.
Shit.
You know?
Could you imagine?
That would be fascinating.
Last year they rise into the finals. This year they fall.
That would be look, it's not going to happen, but
Nah, I agree. But yeah, I had a little look. Heaney's kicked 35 this year.
it's a
So
lot
yeah.
of goals from midfielder, man.
You sneak him into the All-Australian forward.
I think so.
I'd be very happy with that, to be honest with you.
Look, credit to Sydney. I mean, this isn't another team that they play like that and you go, geez, like they're not playing finals.
Mm.
They've underperformed this year. Injury has impacted them, but it's a disappointing season for the Swans,
I
man.
don't know. Yeah, I think we can all agree the last couple of weeks is more like what we expect, which we probably do expect that next year more consistently, which does make them more of a finals threat. But they are still sort of prone to that disappointment as well. They're not a sure thing in my eyes in a competitive league.
Yeah. No, they're not. You know, I think you look at their goal scoring, right, and it is 5 to Heaney, 2 to Warner. And is there a key forward who's kicked the goal here?
There's not enough, man.
There's Buller who's kicked the goal. The rest is from midfielders.
And even the small forward action, like Papley's now injured, in and out of form, getting older. Like, I think they're going to need to recruit 1 or 2 forwards with a bit of X factor.
Well, I mean, Harry
Mackay.
Mackay's been linked to them for years.
Mm.
They're looking for a key forward.
Yeah.
Yep.
It's just a hard one to get. Yeah, Joe Danaher, I feel like is one that they float around like, oh, is he going to make a return to football because he lives in Byron Bay or something? That's not that far.
That's
from
not
Sydney,
happening,
right?
man. Yeah.
Probably not. But, you know, yeah, they'll probably look for someone.
All right, next game. Georgie.
Mate, I started watching this game and it looked all right. And then I actually did something very uncharacteristic and I actually got up and I went out. And that's how bad Carlton is at the moment, that they
Huge.
forced me out to a bar.
But hang on, did you not go to a bar that had TVs?
Yes, and when I went there, Carlton was only 15 points behind, and we'd been 50 points behind. I'm like, what happened here?
So you cheated a little bit. You did still watch.
There was about 5 minutes left,
Okay.
and what I actually did is I went back and watched the last quarter. So I got the sense of the game, and I know that the third quarter blew out massively, like it has done all season for Carlton. Fourth quarter was fun, man. I haven't actually enjoyed watching football for a long time. But that fourth quarter was like, wow, we're actually playing fun football. And I tell you what, we should have won this game. We're 40 points behind. We should have won this game. And a little old man called Lockie Fogarty, who, if he's not delisted, I'm going to cancel my membership. Bro, he missed 2 goals from 15 metres out and killed the momentum. He could have put us with 11 points in with 10 minutes left.
Did you just call him a little old man?
He's just forget about I don't care what I called him.
Bro's 26. He's younger than all of us, bro.
Right. Can you look up while I'm talking how many goals Fogarty's kicked in his career?
I'll see what I can do.
This
for you
guy's a
with
permanent forward. Look at how many goals he's kicked in his career. So, but I'll tell you what, it was actually quite fun, Dean.
36 goals in 89 games.
That's shocking, bro. How?
36 goals. Yeah, that's bad, bro.
Come on, bro. You missed from 15 minutes out twice in the same game. You've done it multiple times in your career. It's so deflating. And the other one, Motlop, oh my gosh, he is the worst Indigenous player in the AFL. He actually, and I'm not saying that as an insult. It's just a fact, right? It's not insulting if it's a fact.
I think the reason you're so upset at him in particular is because a few years ago you're like, oh, my sneaky chance he's going to be top 3 in our BNF.
Did I say that?
You said something
Oh,
crazy.
wow.
You talked to him.
I was on.
You were
I was on
huge
drugs.
on him, and I think you've been massively heartbroken.
No, you know what it is? He actually was one of the hyped preseason players. All the players Motlop's looking
There's
good.
always one. Yep.
And he just had. We're going to talk about Rankin soon. We're going to talk about these players, how they just have an X factor and they have the ability to win the game off their boot. That's what those small forwards are there to do. They're there not to get all the ball, but when they have their moment to do it. And he kicked one out on the full, and he couldn't create enough space, and he kicked one as a point. I don't know if you guys watched this game. You probably didn't. The last quarter was all Carlton, man. I can't express this enough. It was one-way traffic the whole quarter. We should have won this game. We just didn't have the class.
Yeah.
So, look, Oh, and the other one, you never believe it. Frank Evans, bro, had the game of his life, bro.
Yep.
Like, this was like a generational game. Like, his grandkids will talk about this game, dude.
That game,
Like,
he kicked four goals against Gold Coast and lost.
Yes. he's won himself another contract.
That's fair.
At the start of this season, I said, this guy is the worst player in the AFL. This guy, the fact that we're playing Frank Evans, like, is a disaster. But Mans was like prime Gary Ablett. He was incredible.
Shout out Francis. I think he's a Brunswick boy. Believe it or not.
Local boy.
Local.
So what's the point of this story? Gold Coast are terrible at Marvel. They did nothing to impress. Carlton and maybe any other team in that moment with that momentum should have won that game. They didn't quite have the class. But even though I've been really disappointed by the Blues this year, and it's the worst thing in the world to sit there and listen to Vossi like talk green shoots at the end of this season, when at the start of the season we'll talk in top 4. Like, what a fall from grace. Yeah. Like, that's pathetic. Having said that, I am relatively optimistic about Carlton next year. I actually think they should still be aiming for top 8. And the reason is we've got half of our best players out. I mean, like, I could name them, but there's just 100 of them out, right? So that's a genuine excuse. 1 or 2 injuries, Neil being out for Brisbane's not an excuse, but having half your list out is an excuse, right? And they've backed in Vossi, whatever, maybe some stability is what they need. Graham Wright make that decision. There's going to be a lot of off-field changes. Players like Lockie Fogarty and these guys are gone. We know that. But if they have the ability over the next 2 years to reinvent the list like a Geelong does, where they manage to kind of reinvent themselves but still stay relevant and their key players still play well, they find some other players, this team is still fine because there's still a lot of good players. They may not be particularly classy or skillful, but they have other AFL attributes that still make him powerful, right? Like a George Hewitt, not a fast player, but man, he's contested, right? So we just got to supplement with classy players, which is easier said than done. But we've got Harry Dean coming in, top 10 pick. Cody Walker's talked about as a number 1 pick the year after. So Jagger Smith comes back. So that's 3 top picks. We're going to get a pick for DeConning. So you've got ability to nail all those picks and reinvent yourself a bit.
Any interest in free agents that you know about? Rumours, trades?
I've heard like Malcolm Roses. I don't know if he's a free agent as a small. We really need to replace all of our small forwards, right? And I'm open to potentially trading a big name to kind of, I don't know, get some currency and just shake it up a bit. So I don't think it's the end of the world for the Blues because I think there's enough capital there to kind of rework it. And if they get that right, and that's a big if, they're back on it, man. So
I like you haven't been this optimistic since like round 5.
And there's some young players that have actually got a bit of, like Cooper Lord was in North Melbourne's VFL. He's a good player.
Yeah.
He's Jagger Smith's best mate, so he's in there, right? Ashton Moyer, I think he's got potential. Harry O'Farrell will be out next year, but he's in the future. He's already proven himself. So there's some young players, man. So I think we'll be all right.
I like it. Good.
Yeah. The other Saturday night game was Port versus Freo, and that, like, Freo really, they left it late.
They left it late.
And in amazing circumstances, the captain rolls forward after the opposition captain had kicked the goal to put Port ahead. This dude sneaks in there.
I will say on behalf of Port fans, which I'm not here to back you guys up. However, I was watching that last quarter. Some very suspect decisions from the umpire. Halted their momentum at times. So there was a bit of that in there. But man, what a moment from Pearce.
Yeah.
Huge.
Is that his first goal of like of the year of his life? Like, what's the deal?
Not of his life, I don't think. But
nah, for sure not. But,
I don't think he scored this year.
Yeah.
Surely not.
Yeah, no. So that was incredible circumstances.
He's also been injured a lot, I think, this season, Pearce.
Yeah, true. Which is, it kind of makes it even more symbolic that the dude can go up and, get his goal.
He scored a few goals this year, actually. Scored against Port in round 11.
Oh, wow.
And against
Good
Collingwood
customers.
and against Richmond.
Oh, there you go. So he does manage a little sneak forward sometimes.
He's kicked 4 of his 9 career goals this year.
Mate.
That's stunning. Anyway.
Well, look, if they ever, if one of their forwards ever gets injured, Big Kahuna goes out. But nah, they do need him back in defence. He's a very important cog down there. Yeah, I feel like Vossi, he's become their main guy up forward, man. He kicked 3 goals in this game. He's just so like arrogant and just he's just he brings such energy. Like I don't know if there's there's like a forward duo that provides more energy for a team than Tracy and Voss. Tracy with his hard running, his ability to crash packs, his ability to tackle, and then Voss is just, shithousery. It's a great
And Freo hasn't had
combo
a
there.
forward with this sort of charisma, I don't think, in my whole life.
forward with this type of
Like
look.
a charisma and just arrogance.
Pavlich,
But he wasn't.
But he wasn't like. But he was just. He was a quiet achiever.
Correct.
He just did his thing.
Like I'm talking
Yeah.
like a personality. You know what I mean?
That's
They've
fair.
never had one.
Yeah, I don't think so.
Good on him.
They had a David Mundy.
That David Mundy.
Yeah, they've got like the Mundy types, the
quietest,
Pavliches.
like just
Yeah.
chill dude.
David
went
Mundy.
about his
David Mundy
business.
had no personality, but all the memes about him kind of picked it up. You know, David Mundy for Rising Star, these type of things.
Well, when he was 36 years
Yeah,
old,
yeah.
David Mundy for Rising Star. I know. I feel like David Mundy. You could give him the like the Chuck Norris meme.
Yeah, that's exactly what I was gonna say,
Is that,
yeah.
is that what he does? Yeah. There you go.
What about cheeky Neil Erasmus? Bit of a coming out party.
Yes. No. Well, look, with Hayden Young going out, here's an opportunity for a young dude who hasn't really shown us much to this point to
No.
really play well. He killed it, man.
Took his
He's-
opportunity.
Yeah, 100%. And there was a stat that I saw for another young player, one of Dino's boys, Murphy Reed. It was something along the lines of no other player apart from him and Cyril in their first year have gotten I think it was 20 goals and 30 goal assists, or vice versa. I don't know if it was 20 goals or 30 goals, whatever it was, but he's in elite company.
Man, yeah.
And this is a midfielder who's playing forward. He's found his way into the team and he's just playing a role and he's being effective.
Well, this is exactly why I had him for longer than anybody first in my mocks. And he did slip a little bit to 5, which it was hurting me every time. But you sort of buy into the whole, is he going to be athletic enough and this and that? And I remember in one of the Coates League, the semi or the final, he got chased down, tackled a few times. I'm like, oh, shit. I dropped him a little bit. But the reality is, man, this guy is right now one of the smartest players in the entire AFL, IQ-wise.
Wow. That's big.
And he's
big
got the
call.
skill to back it up. The goal assists, the handballs, the quick hands. There's very few players on his level with IQ already. And yes, if he was a bit faster and a bit stronger, he would be one of the best in the league, in my opinion. But if that's not his ceiling, fine. But he's forever going to be, he's never going to be this bad. And look how good he is.
Yeah. Well, there you go.
You know what I mean? So what he can become if he does get a bit stronger and, a bit more powerful, who knows? But it's going to be exciting to watch.
A steal at pick 17.
But that, man, forget me being right about how good he is. The fact that he slipped to 17 is a joke. If you're any of the teams from 8 onwards, you're an idiot. I'm sorry. Look at
fair.
and the Saints did well in my opinion. They got Tyree Travaglia. Come on, Travaglia is a nice player. They should have got Reed, a team that needs a midfielder, a bit of X factor, a bit of flair.
A bit of class. Yeah.
Come on, man. Anyway,
Man, this is where, look, Dean is a great draft and
got an eye for it, Matt.
he has an eye for it. You have a great draft mind, young players in there, identifying AFL traits and talent.
I must say though, this year I haven't watched a single thing of the draft because I'm so depressed. North doesn't have their pick.
Well, what's the point of watching? It's just there's no motivation.
I'll get into it a little bit. I promise. I'll try and form some sort of opinion for everyone, but it won't be as thorough as last year was.
Yeah, fair enough. Now, last year was unbelievable. There was some great content.
No doubt.
All right, next game.
Yep.
North Melbourne. Look, there's a couple positives in there.
Joining the chorus.
Joining the chorus, legal, yeah.
Legal chorus.
Look, Cooper Trembath, mid-season pick, kicks 3 on debut as a key position forward. So very nice.
Yeah, there's a bit of story about him. So I think we picked him up in our VFL team. He played 1 or 2 games and he did all right. And they said to him, "Go play for Coburg or something." Go
Blackburn,
play.
I think.
What was it?
Blackburn.
Blackburn. Go play for Blackburn. You know what I mean? Just go there, play local footy, and we're going to pick you up in the mid-season draft. That is North Melbourne never do anything this smart. I am so happy that we did that.
Yeah.
And so they've done that. He kicks 3 goals. The third goal was 45, 50 meter bomb, right? And contested mark. He jumped over Lockie Whitfield like he wasn't even there, and he took a contested mark on whoever it was. Was it? I don't know. I honestly can't remember, but it was a key defender. And that's that's exactly the type of player we need next to Larky. Someone who can take a mark.
And and to his credit as well, he didn't. I saw an interview where he was saying he didn't get drafted because he was a bit out of shape. And he's already looking, obviously, he's playing AFL minutes, so he looks pretty good.
But bro looks jacked.
You got to say, yeah,
how old he
he
is.
seems like one of these sort of natural guys that if he takes it seriously, he can be something physically. And to kick 3 on debut is no joke in a bad North Melbourne team. So, no, full respect to him. So that was a positive.
Yeah.
Colby's been doing Colby things. Looks awesome.
Colby, man, he's so good.
He's a
man.
gun. He's a jet.
He's like we really need to hold on to him. I don't care what Tassie give him.
100%. Yeah.
You give him, extra.
Well,
you need players like that. You need players like him and Sheasel.
it'll depend on if we can improve, man. I wouldn't begrudge him if he left in a couple of years on massive money if we didn't improve. So that's on us as well.
That's fair. That's fair.
Look, same old shit though. Fumbly turnovers, and then we're so unorganized at the back. It's one of these ones you try and cut the defense a bit of slack because if they're losing the ball so stupidly up the field, like any team will cop a goal there, but also they suck too. So it's kind of like when it's there for you to actually do your thing, and we have been a bit organized, and they're still messing about. It's really frustrating. Our defense is a bit, like no Lukey MacDonald, no Jackson Archer. There's a couple others out. It's kind of like just call the season. To be honest, I'm done.
Yeah, no. I gotta say though, at least we got to watch some Georgie Wardlaw playing full midfield minutes.
He's Georgie, man. Yeah.
Oh man, he's
the second best Georgie I know.
Yeah. Look,
he's in the George group chat. I speak to him regularly.
But yeah, so luckily Georgie's Fender, Georgie Wardlaw, Curious George Costanza. There's
Prince
plenty
George from England.
See, mate, look at all these Georges, bro. Isn't there another George in the F1? I reckon there's a George in the F1.
I'm not a big F1 guy, but yeah, surely there's a George.
I think there's a George in the F1 as well. But anyway, GWS they're a good team.
Yeah,
we make them look good, because we make teams look good.
Correct. And in the first quarter, especially like your stringers, like of course he's going to get up and about. Of course, Callum Brown's going to kick his career high 5 goals.
Of course, we get to hit the
it's almost worth it.
Yeah,
look, it's kind of it's bittersweet.
That'll do.
Yeah, bittersweet. So Melbourne versus the Bulldogs, and another crazy finish to a game. It's weird how like in this round there was this game and there was the Freo Port game where 2 clear finals teams versus 2 clear non-finals teams, managed to make it, an actual game out of it, and it gives us something to sink our teeth into.
Well, the Dogs are still sort of hanging on to any sort of hope, and to their credit, they're doing their bit, but no teams like right above them slipping up. It was the higher up teams choking a bit.
Yeah,
so
true. That's not what they want.
None of the teams you're right. None of the teams that are really fighting for the spot were convincing.
And they almost did.
Like even Gold Coast wasn't really convincing.
They weren't convincing. They could have lost, like you said. Obviously, Freo almost lost, but didn't.
Brisbane did lose.
Brisbane. That's the thing that 2 higher up teams lost, which is not good for the Dogs. But
true.
They couldn't have done much more, man. It was an entertaining game. Melbourne.
Yeah. They had the caretaker coach buff.
100%.
Yeah. Right, which like it just turns you into a different team, man.
Yeah.
They still couldn't do it. Yeah. I mean, they Melbourne got smashed out of the middle, huh? And what's interesting is that's kind of where you think Melbourne scores most of their scores from. And they still were able to kind of transition the ball and score with just getting dominated. This game felt to me like what carried the Dogs were just some special individuals. Like Ed Richards, 14 clearances, mate. Oh my gosh.
The
bro.
2 goals
as well
in the last quarter.
Like, he's a freak, man. How is this guy just sitting on the half back line? And he said, you know what, let's try him in the midfield. And he's the best midfielder in the comp. He's incredible. And then the astronaut, another 5 goals. He's in massive form. Bont does what he does.
Yeah, Darcy with
the mark.
Oh, Nick Rewell-esque.
That was huge.
So I just felt like it was some individuals that just said, we got to win this. Imagine the Dogs eliminate themselves from the finals by losing to Melbourne.
That almost happened. Very close to happening. So
I was part of me was just like, do it, to Melbourne, But in the end, they got through.
And last game,
no, you happy to move on? I'm happy to move on.
I went to basketball last night at a moment where the Eagles were looking like they're going to win this thing, and then my game ends. And
I tried to push it with the Destiny comment. I tried to make it. I tried to manifest it.
Written in the stars.
Yeah,
West Coast
we're gonna
win.
Look, there's no way the worst team in the comp, and maybe the worst team ever, is losing to the number 1 team in the comp at the moment. Like that's just how does that happen?
Well, Adelaide looked ordinary as anything in the first half.
Yeah,
they were horrible.
Man, they were like losing in the 4th quarter.
Insane
stuff.
I
saw a few comments on I think it was the Adelaide post of like one of the quarter updates, and someone's like, no one's stolen more of a living than Chris Burgess. And it just made me laugh because, like, I was watching the first quarter. I'm like, this guy sucks. No offense to Chris Burgess.
To be
but, like,
fair, I didn't watch a lot of this game, but when I saw him lining up for the goal, I was like, what? This guy still
why
plays
is he-
football?
Yeah.
Who did he come in for?
I don't know, man.
I
I
don't
don't know. I think
He's right back out, let's be fair. Like,
yeah, that has
for
to.
Taylor Walker, did he get rested?
Must have been
Yeah,
text,
yeah.
bro. Must have been text.
Yeah, it
They're
was,
like,
it
let's
was.
try to maintain the 3-pronged attack.
Nah.
Don't do that.
It didn't
Don't
work.
do that. Yeah, but look, in this game, I think there's a couple things, at least from West Coast, you can take out of it. Like Tim Kelly showed this was his best game of the year by far.
He's been in a little cheeky patch of form. He's
Yeah.
somewhat back.
Yeah, that's it. I don't know if he's exactly back, but at least there's something there. There's probably a little bit of there's a little bit more for him to give, which is good for them. McCarthy is unbelievable. Like there's been a lot of great mid-season draft picks. But this amount of impact in their first season,
Yeah.
I don't know if it's been like this.
Yeah.
I don't know if there's been a dude who's done it.
They nailed it.
Yeah, 100%, man. And the efficiency at which he goes about it, and eventually could he be a midfielder as well, And I think he did get a bit more midfield time. I think, was it this week or was it last week? They're chucking him in there a bit more. Yeah, this week he did get a bit more midfield time. So it's just, it's exciting for them. And man, Liam Ryan's still a gun, bro.
He's a great player.
He's still unbelievable. Yeah, Chessa, there's something happening there. There's a little bit more. There's stuff going on with them. Yeah, it makes you feel a little bit better about them. But
Yeah.
it was the Dawson and Rankin just show, and them just being classy and doing what they need to do to just get Adelaide over the line.
Yeah, which sometimes you got to do it.
Yeah.
It's fascinating to see that a team so bad as West Coast, when they just bring a lot of pressure and when they got the crowd on their back, you can almost make miracles happen. So that's kind of when you see a team get smashed, I think it's inexcusable because if you bring a level of intensity like that, you should never really get absolutely blown out, in my opinion.
No, I feel
And that's why, like, any team that loses by 80, 90 points, so it's just not, you can never justify that, in my opinion. Even if you're just a terrible team, if you just bring the intensity they brought, you don't lose by that.
Agreed. Yep.
So that's evidence of it, man.
You got to think about it. It's 22 or 23, including subs, men versus 22 to 23 other men.
Yeah.
It's not like there shouldn't be that big a difference out there.
well,
These
that's-
dudes
that's proof.
They're cut from the same cloth.
Yeah.
And I've always said it with North, like, if we're under the palm, you've copped 3 or 4 goals in a row. That's the time when the ball bounces, you're in your 6-6-6 zone, you instantly move your wingers into the defense if you don't win the clearance, and you show some resilience. Don't let them score on the next goal, sort of thing. So, no. It's just, for the Eagles, they just worry me, man. Like, they bring this sort of intensity. Obviously, they still lose. Unfortunately, it's against Adelaide. They brought it against Collingwood somewhat. They lose, like, in terms of wins, losses, yeah. As a North fan, even I can say that's a pretty woeful season.
Yeah.
So,
Man, it's probably historically one of the worst. It's the worst season of all time, probably.
Yeah.
Who knows?
Yeah, now they can do their research into pick one, but there's no WA talents at the top.
there's no clear, it's, as we've sort of said, it's a bit of a weaker draft. So
Yeah.
that's not good for them. But at least
But
you get the
surely
best.
pick one will be a good player.
At least you get your choice. Yeah.
Yeah.
Of a whole draft crop, it can be a dud, but
It's more like there's no, yes, we're getting Harley Reid. Like, that's the dude.
yeah.
It's going to be a bit like it could be any of the top 5 sort of vibes.
Yeah.
So we'll see.
And a lot of the top, I think 2 or 3 of the top 5 are academy players anyway. So it's like, anyway, we'll see what happens there. I reckon we'll jump into the tips.
Go tipping leaderboard quickly as
Yeah,
well.
of
So
course.
the top 2 hasn't changed. Skivo, Lana S still on 145 and Kiara Tini still on 143. They both got 7. So
There you go.
Bok Hall, though, he's separated himself. Actually, no, he's jumped into the top 3. Eugene H. You got an 8 last week.
Shout out Eugene, man.
And then you go Fish and Crips as your 4. So it's close, but also not long left now. So I reckon Kiara's going to have to go a few speculative tips this week to catch up.
I'll let her know.
Which there is a couple that she can kind of work on. So
All right. Well, this is going to be the worst game of all time on Thursday night. Oh, it's Friday night.
Yeah.
Bombers.
Weird, huh? Thursday off.
You know what? I would much rather this have been on a Thursday so I can just not watch it and get on with the weekend.
yeah, I agree.
Yeah, but then at least you can watch, instead of watching Essendon St Kilda, you can watch Fremantle, Brizzy. You know what I mean? That kind of works.
Well,
But anyway.
oh, true. There's 2 games. Why do they, again, they've done that.
Yeah,
Anyway,
it's very weird. Well, anyway, we'll go.
No
with
one's
the
watching
Saints.
us in St Kilda, man.
we go on the Saints.
We'll go Saints.
Have the Bombers been resilient enough to get their little win? Well, they got no merit now.
They don't have Naz.
Yeah.
Yeah, true. All right.
Yeah.
Saints by 25.
Yeah.
This is a fun one.
Yeah. So
Do we
Fremantle
back
versus
in the Dockers, mate? The lines are so hard to read.
and he's at Optus Stadium.
I feel like they respond. They responded the week before.
Yeah,
this week.
they like having that chip on the shoulder, I think.
I'm going for it.
You going Freo?
Yeah, I'll go Freo as well.
I'm going to go
The Freo.
Lions.
The Freo.
I'm going to go Lions on this one just because of that response. And they might slip out of the 8.
Yeah,
You don't want to be
true.
playing Hawthorn in the last round for your finals.
Well,
hopes.
all of these guys are fighting for it, man.
That's
Dockers
the
are not
thing, yeah.
safe.
Yeah, no, exactly right.
Yeah, but they just barely beat Port anyway.
These are and then 2 more teams that are fighting for it: Suns and Giants.
Mm.
That's a big one.
Yeah, I think over at People's First, I'm happy to
Yeah.
go with
Yep.
Gold
Yeah, I'll go with
Coast.
that.
Carlton
Another
versus Port.
blockbuster. This is a winnable game, mate.
Evans' revenge game?
Evans.
Surely.
Everyone's watching.
Look, Port. We didn't talk about them much this week, but they had one of those games where they're pretty dominant and they look like they're. So they have to have a bad week this week. Let's go to Baggers,
Let's
mate.
go to Baggers.
Let's
Yeah,
go to
I'm
Baggers.
happy to go
It's been a
Baggers
while.
Stuff
too,
it, man. Let's do it.
Hawks v D's. Let's go. Hawks.
Hawks.
Crows v Pies.
Surely the Crows get revenge, man.
Do they get them this time? Because they've come close.
I think they get them.
Yeah, let's go.
I agree.
North v Richmond.
bro.
At
I-
Ninja
I-
Stadium, Launceston.
I
Hobart,
don't
sorry,
know if
Hobart.
I don't know if I could be any more demoralized if North lose, bro. We're gonna tip North, but man,
We beat them ugly earlier in the year.
yeah,
We got no
need
Larky
it.
though.
Nah, North will win this. You'll be right.
We need.
You say that. This is the thing, like, as bad as we are, people have been more optimistic than I thought they would be throughout the year steadily. So they must be seeing some improvement.
No, there's no improvement. You've been horrible. Like, it's at the point of the season, bro. You can't say it. Like, it's shocking. But you'll beat
But why?
Richmond.
Richmond's been better than us. They're on top of us.
Yeah, I know, but like Wardlaw, Sheasel, LDU, Sherry,
We got
Parker,
Taranto, Hopper.
Parker, like how? What are you doing, bro?
Yeah, no, we can't lose this. We
Oh,
can't.
don't get me wrong. I'm somewhat confident, but I think like anyone who thinks that this is a one-sided game is besides the like.
Oh,
no
no,
way.
I agree. I
no
agree.
way.
No, it's not. It's 155 to 247. Those odds may change.
I think that's a bit generous. I'd go Tigers 210 and North like 180 if I
Yeah.
was setting the odds.
Interesting.
Not
There
that I'm
you
an
go.
odds man, but
Yeah,
Yeah.
might have become a bookie, mate. Anyway,
you owe me money.
This
on
is
it.
another fun one. I don't know. I'd like to know what the record of Cats are is at ACG.
Sydney Geelong. Vibes of the old Nick Davis.
Sydney won the last one.
I'm going Geelong.
Geelong,
I'm
man,
going
surely.
Geelong.
And the last one,
Oh,
Doggies
massacre.
versus West Coast.
Right,
Easy.
this is the astronaut 10 goals.
This is the This is
Yes.
man.
101 to $21. Oh my
Wow.
gosh.
I've never been more
Wow.
confident. Again, I'm not a betting man, but like Norton and Darcy over like 5 each. Surely, it's got to
Yeah, easy.
be. Anyway,
Yeah,
How come the Dogs every second game are versing West Coast or North?
always at Marvel, just tee up a nice percentage boost.
nah, they love it, mate. They love it. You know, I guess I don't know. They sort of set it up nicely for Darcy and Norton to just boost that Coleman tally.
What a combo. Anyway,
Yeah.
Did I say that I saw Mobile Joel?
No,
You did not.
You didn't mention it.
Tall
actually.
man, tallest guy at the club, and had a drink in his hand. Like, is this poor culture? Is this hot ball culture?
Where's the
just
Guinea-
going out on the Saturday night?
no Ginnivan headline for Marbiel.
No.
it seems.
If I was Tom Morris, mate, I'd be saying, Charles requesting a trade, disillusioned.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Going for drinks on Saturday nights. you
yeah,
know.
he's an imposing figure.
Oh, you
I
would
can
be.
imagine.
Yeah.
Me one out in the goal square with this guy. Anyway, good luck to Chol, I guess.
Yeah.
Oh, in that one-on-one.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah,
I got him covered, bro.
no, easy peasy. Anyway, thank you guys for listening. See you on the next one.
Congrats,
Bravo.
dudes.
Bye.